Florida's Forgotten Coast is anything but forgotten. Communities devastated by Hurricane Michael in 2018.
It's almost like a jigsaw puzzle trying to figure out which piece of home goes where.
Thrust into the spotlight as the world watched entire towns get wiped away.
I was tracking the storm, watching that track. I was also watching what they were forecasting it to be.
For Jeff Biddle, the storm captured his attention days before it arrived in his quiet town of Lynn Haven.
They were saying it was going to be a Cat 3.
On Saturday, October 6, 2018, just 4 days before landfall, the National Hurricane Center designated potential tropical cyclone 14, a term first introduced a year earlier, allowing forecasters to issue life-saving alerts sooner, giving residents like Jeff more time to prepare.
And so we tried to stock up as best as we thought we could, and we decided to hunker down on it.
Down the coast in Mexico Beach, Michael Scoggins was preparing, protecting not only his home, but his restaurant.
It is. He took a swim during the hurricane. Silly me, I had him bungee corded to a palm tree, but neither one of them were here when I got back.
After moving to Mexico Beach in 2003, Michael opened Killer Seafood, a place to bring locals and visitors together.
It meant a lot to be welcomed into a community, and my goal always was to be successful, but the toughest nut to crack I always felt was the older folks, and they immediately took a liking to us as a restaurant.
As the Panhandle prepared for a direct hit, forecasters at the National Hurricane Center continued upgrading their forecast, warning of a stronger landfall. With just hours until the storm reached the coast, Michael said one last goodbye to his restaurant before riding it out at his home, just a mile from the ocean.
Gone down to the water's edge about 9:30 in the morning, and you can still see sand, nothing I haven't seen here before from regular storms.
But as the hours passed, Hurricane Michael's fury became more evident, intensifying beyond projections and showing no signs of slowing down.
We hear the branches and stuff hitting the side of the house. We have hurricane shutters up, so we hear it banging. It gets a little loud.
And I looked across the street, 2 houses down, and I saw the biggest oak tree on our street in slow motion just tip over. That's the moment I knew that this was more than what we were expecting.
On Wednesday, October 10th, 2018, Hurricane Michael made landfall. Maximum sustained winds were initially reported at 155 miles per hour, but later were upgraded to 160, making it a Category 5 hurricane.
I don't know what's going on outside of this house.
How'd that make you feel in that moment?
Lost, and maybe I'm next, maybe I'm not. Lord, please protect us.
Michael would become the most intense hurricane on record to strike the U.S. in October. By the time it was over, entire communities were left picking up the pieces.
And then saw the house sitting there, the pile of rubble, what used to be the restaurant. I could look inside that pile and still see a few things. There was a rafter or two, like we had dollar bills stapled to the wall and the ceiling of the whole place. And I could look in there and say, oh, there's some dollar bills in there. So I could tell it was, our stuff, but the contents of the building, the tables, the chairs, the walk-in coolers and freezers were all just scattered into the woods back there.
Not a single tree out of all the trees that surrounded my house, not a single one hit my house, to include my workshop over here. None of them hit that one either.
In nearby Port St. Joe, residents face the same reality, picking up the pieces of their lives.
Stuff would just wash up along the bayfront.
Among them, Paula Ramsey Pickett, a fourth-generation resident of the area.
Do you ever think a storm of that magnitude was possible here?
No,
Why?
your brain doesn't allow you to go there.
Paula lost her home and everything in it. Across her extended family, 11 homes were destroyed. That loss became painfully clear days later during a call from her daughter.
Mom, I don't have my wedding album. Can you give me a copy of your wedding albums or, my pictures? And I was like, Kimberly, I don't have your wedding album either. She's like, don't worry about it. I'll call Grandma. I'm like, Kimberly, Grandma doesn't have your wedding album either. So when you take that into perspective And most people have the ability to call mom, call grandma, call Aunt Sue, call cousin Jack, whoever, and you can get back your life. We didn't have that luxury.
2 months after the storm, a friend half a mile down the road made an unexpected discovery: Paula's daughter's wedding album.
You can sort of use your imagination.
Yeah.
Until that's the inside of the church.
Muddied and battered, but not lost. The photos brought a sense of comfort in the middle of chaos.
What was the feeling of joy for you, for your daughter?
You just are thrilled that when anybody finds anything that belonged to you, it's brand new. It's a feeling of joy. Somebody found something, they can connect to me, they get it back to us. In hindsight, these pictures aren't something you're going to hang on your wall, but it's still a memory.
Back in Mexico Beach, Michael got to work, helping to feed his community.
It felt kind of normal. It felt like I was going to work every day and cooking still.
Serving 1,500 meals a day to anyone in need, he kept it going for months after the storm.
They were more than customers, they were friends. It still amazes me every day that people still remember that and will come up to me literally at least once a week and say, thank you for what you did. I'm like, what? Oh, 6 years ago? You're welcome.
We are with you. We will continue to work with you until we rebuild and recover bigger and better than ever before.
The cleanup after Hurricane Michael would take years, made no easier by repeated storms in the years that followed. Nestor in 2019, Elsa in 2021, Debbie and Helene in 2024. In total, 7 systems impacted Florida's panhandle in the 7 years following Michael.
And I've looked at these communities and I thought, oh, my heart just breaks for them because they don't know what they don't know. Until you have walked that walk, I didn't know it. I could imagine it. I could think I know what it felt like to have everything taken away from me, but until you're in that position, my heart just bled for these communities.
The state of Florida adapted new strategies to help communities recover faster after storms.
So we're getting information so much earlier that we're able to kind of look at it and begin to build those plans a little bit with a higher degree of certainty.
John Scott, Brevard County's emergency management director, says even though Central Florida avoided a direct hit, the region is better prepared because of what happened in the Panhandle.
We sort of created what are called pallet message boards, where we would staple messages to pallets, and it was in popular congregation places. That kind of stuff still works. You just have to figure out what it looks like in a larger community like ours and really reinforce those things, like who are those human connection points? Where are those congregation points?
Back in Lynn Haven, Jeff says Michael taught him a valuable lesson. When officials say leave, you leave.
I decided after Hurricane Michael, and I think I've already told you, I will not live through another Michael.
Yeah.
I will leave.
He even bought a travel trailer, ready to go the next time a mandatory evacuation is called.
I keep my clothes in there.
Really?
Yes.
It's like a kind of an emergency kit ready to go.
This is my go bag, but it's a little bit bigger than a normal go bag.
Yep.
Killer Seafood has since returned to Mexico Beach, operating from a trailer on the same land the restaurant once stood. Customers sitting under tarps, surrounded by scars left by Hurricane Michael, but the seafood still comes out hot and fresh, just like it always has.
We've succeeded in, going through hell and coming out the other side with something that we can still call a successful business. It could have come back and flopped, but it did come back and flourish.
It's been 8 years since Hurricane Michael put Florida's forgotten coast in the spotlight, but along scenic Highway 30A, the scars are still there, if you know where to look.
What do people not understand about the recovery process following the storm?
How long it's going to take.
How long did it take you?
I haven't recovered yet.
We're talking 8 years.
Yeah.
While the state has improved response times, pre-positioning supplies, and running simulated drills, no level of preparation can fully stop Mother Nature. For Paula, it's not about how you prepare, it's about how you recover.
That when you go back through your pictures, you're like, wow, we've come a long way. And there's a sense of pride in that. this area should be very proud of where they've come and where they've come from.